It's dawn in Manila, TV screens flicker to life, news anchors, faces full of awe, deliver a single thunderous headline: the Philippines launches its largest warship, a game-changer for Asia. Out at Subic Bay, floating in the mist, is a warship so massive it looks like a floating fortress. Crowds line the docks, craning their necks to witness history. Sirens wail as the Philippine flag rises over the steel deck. Journalists jostle for position, snapping photos. The president steps up, voice steady, declaring this ship a symbol of hope and strength. The Navy's brass salute, the crowd cheers, echoing over the water. The world watches. Social media explodes with hashtags. Experts call it a new dawn for Philippine defense. In living rooms, in military bunkers, and in government offices from Beijing to Washington, the message is clear. The Philippines has arrived on the world stage. This warship is no ordinary vessel. At over 300 meters long, it is bigger than any ship the Philippines has ever built. Its hull towers above the dock, covered in sleek, radar-absorbing panels. Twin runways stretch the length of the deck, ready for fighter jets, drones, and helicopters. The behemoth's gray silhouette cuts an intimidating figure against the horizon. Designed by a team of local and international engineers, the ship blends stealth with brute force. Its angular futuristic form hides advanced sensors and defensive weapons. Below deck, hangars and storage bays can launch small boats, submarines, and amphibious vehicles, making it not just a carrier, but a true multi-role platform. It's not just size that matters here. The ship is built to survive. Its double-reinforced hull shrugs off torpedoes. Fire control systems and watertight bulkheads mean the vessel can take a hit and keep fighting. Every element, from the bridge to the engine room, is armored and digitally connected. The monster warship is a floating city, home to over 2,000 crew. It has its own hospital, command center, and even greenhouses for food production. Everything about this vessel screams resilience and readiness. The urgency behind the build. Why build such a warship now? The answer is urgency. Tensions in the South China Sea have never been higher. Chinese Coast Guard ships shadow Filipino fishermen. Foreign survey ships crisscross contested waters. Each month brings new headlines, standoffs, near collisions, and angry diplomatic notes. For years, the Philippines relied on old ships, hand-me-downs from allies. But recent events blocked resupplies at Ayungin Shoal, illegal fishing, threatened drilling rigs, have changed minds in Manila. Enough is enough, a Navy admiral said. We need to defend our seas, not just talk about them. Domestic politics also played a role. Polls show Filipinos want a stronger military. Lawmakers, once hesitant, now approve record defense budgets. The pandemic showed the value of self-sufficiency. National pride mixes with fear. Building the monster warship is both a statement and a necessity. International partners encourage the move. The United States, Japan, and Australia offered technology, training, and funding. They want a stable, secure Asia-Pacific. For the Philippines, building the warship now was not just an opportunity, it was a point of survival. Step inside the warship and you enter a world of technology. On the bridge, digital displays show every ship within 200 kilometers. Officers tap touchscreens to command squadrons of drones. AI-powered systems track missiles, aircraft, and submarines in real time. The warship's engines are hybrid, blending gas turbines with electric batteries. This means speed and stealth. She can sprint at 32 knots or glide in silence. On the flight deck, magnetic launchers hurl jets skyward. Below, railguns stand ready, firing projectiles at hypersonic speeds. Defense is layered. The ship bristles with close-in weapon systems, autocannons, missile interceptors, and electronic jammers. Lasers sweep the skies for drones. Underwater, anti-torpedo drones prowl silently, ready to strike. Logistics are high-tech too. Robots deliver supplies to every corner. 3D printers churn out spare parts on demand. The medical bay uses telemedicine links to civilian hospitals. Every system is networked, encrypted, and protected by cybersecurity teams. With this warship, the Philippines changes the game. Before, Manila's navy was small, reactive, and vulnerable. Now it can project power anywhere in its waters, and even beyond. The ship can lead amphibious assaults, rescue missions, and humanitarian efforts. It can control the air, sea, and land around it. Neighbors are taking notice. Vietnam and Malaysia, wary of China's rise, quietly cheer. Indonesia sees new chances for cooperation. For China, the warship is a warning. The Philippines will not be pushed aside. Every patrol, every exercise sends a message. These waters are not up for grabs. Alliances shift. The United States sees a stronger partner in Manila. Japan, South Korea, and Australia talk about joint drills. Even Europe sends observers, eager to learn from the new giant. The power balance tilts not just with hardware, but with confidence. The monster warship is more than steel, it's a shield. For the first time in generations, Filipino sailors feel safe on their own seas. Rivals must think twice before testing the Republic's resolve. How does the Philippine warship stack up against the world's best? First, let's compare it to the United States Navy's Gerald R. Ford-class carriers, those long, flat giants bristling with jets. The Filipino ship is just a bit smaller, but honestly, it's every bit as versatile. It can launch fighters, drones, and helicopters with ease. Its stealth design even rivals that of the British HMS Queen Elizabeth. Now, up against China's Liaoning carrier, the Philippine ship is newer, smarter, and well, a lot tougher. It boasts better sensors, faster aircraft launches, and stronger defenses. Thanks to its hybrid engines, it can stay on patrol much longer. Analysts are already saying it's the most advanced carrier in Southeast Asia. But here's what really sets it apart: its flexibility. Unlike America's supercarriers, it's built for island defense, rapid disaster response, and even cyber warfare. Plus, it's more cost-effective, proof that a smaller country can build a world-class fleet. Naval experts put it simply, it's not just a ship, it's a new concept. The Philippines now sails proudly with giants. The journey began 3 years ago. In a massive shipyard at Subic, welders, engineers, and sailors worked around the clock. Sparks flew as steel plates were fused together. Cranes hoisted engines the size of houses. Workers wore hard hats and carried electronic tablets. A real blend of old and new. Of course, there were setbacks. Typhoons flooded the docks, and global supply chains faltered. But the workers pressed on, driven by pride and purpose. Navy officers trained right alongside the builders, learning every bolt and cable. Test launches were, honestly, pretty tense. Drones buzzed overhead, streaming live video back to Navy headquarters. Families watched from the hills nearby, waving flags and praying for safety. The final launch? It was flawless. A giant sliding into the sea, ready for its new life. Now, as the ship glides through Philippine waters, every sailor remembers those days. The warship isn't just a weapon, it's a symbol of what Filipinos can achieve together. World capitals are buzzing with news of the warship. In Beijing, officials are calling for restraint, and Chinese media warns against provocation. But even military analysts there admit, this changes the equation. China's Coast Guard ships are keeping their distance. Over in Washington, the mood is upbeat. U.S. admirals are praising the Philippines' leap forward, and Secretary of State statements highlight shared security interests. Offers for joint training and exercises are pouring in. Australia and Japan are following suit, pledging more cooperation and intelligence sharing. Neighboring ASEAN nations are sending their congratulations. Vietnam and Malaysia are suggesting joint patrols, while Indonesia is proposing intelligence exchanges. Even South Korea is sending shipbuilders to learn from this new design. Behind closed doors, diplomats are debating, will this spark an arms race or maybe cool tensions? What's clear is that the Philippines now commands respect and attention at every table. The monster warship is more than just a tool of war, it's a promise, a vow to defend the nation's future. For the Philippines, it means fewer sleepless nights for fishermen and Coast Guard crews. It means standing tall in treaties and negotiations. Students are touring the ship, dreaming of careers in science and engineering. Local businesses are growing, supplying parts and food. The Navy is changing too, new training, new tactics, new pride. Every Filipino can now see what's possible with unity and vision. For the Asia-Pacific region, the warship is a test. Can countries compete without clashing? Can they cooperate for peace? There will be challenges ahead, rising costs, cyber threats, climate disasters. But honestly, the region is stronger when its nations are secure and respected. The ship's engines rumble, its flag snaps in the wind. The monster warship sails into the future, carrying the hopes of a nation and the eyes of the world.